Guys, it's Bri and I'm back with a makeup look today. Today it is inspired by the Urban Decay Vice Palette, the new one. And I'm going to go ahead and do a little review at the end for this. But if you're not interested in this, don't worry about waiting around to the end to see that. Just stay tuned if you would like to see how to get this makeup look. Okay, so I've already done my face, done my eyebrows, and done one eye. So we're going to go ahead and work on the other eye. So I'm going to go ahead and start off with my base, which is the Soft Ochre Paint Pot by MAC. And I'm just going to be buffing this all over my lid just to prime it all. I'm going to go ahead and use this transition shade right here. It's just a nice matte taupey color, if that makes any sense. So I'm going to go ahead and take that on a nice fluffy brush. And I'm going to go ahead and take that from the outer corner on the lid to the inner corner on the lid. Lighting is making me angry. So, just buffing that in and out. And I'm extending it slightly further too. I'm just going to take a more dense fluffy brush and I'm going to go ahead and use this color right here called Junk Show. It's a nice hot pink. Just working very slowly with this color because it is very pigmented. And I'm just working the same places, just concentrating it more and not blending it so crazily. And it is okay if you get it some on the lid, just try to leave the center of the lid clean. I'm taking a not very dense angled brush and this eyeshadow called Freak Show right here, this dark purple. And I'm just going to be taking a little bit of this and doing a little bit on the outer portion of the eye. You do want this to get some on the lid. And then bringing it through the crease. Then on to the lid in the inner corner. I'm just going to do this again and build that color. Now after doing that, I'm going to go ahead and highlight my brow bone just to get that out of the way. And I'm going to take this shade here in Anonymous. It's just a nice flesh tone matte color. Then I will be taking the color Road Stripe right there. Kind of an awkward arm position. But it is just a very nice reflective, shimmery white color. It's kind of hard to explain. I really like it. It's what's on the center of my lid here. It's reflecting colors I have on my lid, so I'm liking it. I'm going to go ahead and take that on a flat synthetic brush. And this is just going to go in the center of the lid. And this color, you kind of have to pack it on a little bit to get its true pigmentation. And this is just going in the center of our lid. And I'm just going to go back in with my blending brush, no more additional product, and I'm just going to lightly buff out that edge. Then taking the same brush, I'm going to go into the color Provocateur. I think that's how you say it. It's a very interesting name, but it is right here. Oh, I love this look so much. Okay, so moving on to eyeliner, I'm just going to go ahead and do a nice winged eyeliner, just using black gel eyeliner. So after applying that, we're going to go ahead and work on the lower lash line. So doing the same type of process, I'm going to go ahead and use the brush that it came with. It's just a small kind of precise blending brush, if that makes sense. And I'm just going to go ahead and use our same transition color to buff out the bottom of our lash line to prep it for the rest of the colors. Now, after having all of that laid down, I'm going to go ahead and go into the hot pink color that we used just on the exact same brush. And I'm just blending this, doing the same process I did on the top of the eye. Now, instead of going in with the purple, I'm going to go ahead and line my waterline, and then we'll go into the purple. You'll see why I do this in a second. Now, after lining my tight line, I'm going to go ahead and use a flat eyeliner brush. This one is just by e.l.f. And I'm going to go ahead and use that same purple, and then we're going to go in to, whoops, my palette's falling. We're going to go ahead and go into this color called Perversion. And we're just going to mix those two together on the brush and just smudge it as close as we can to the lash line and the eyeliner. We're going to go all the way in. Now we're going to go back into the road stripe color, the one that we have on the center of our lid, and using that same brush that we used earlier. And this is just going to go on the lower lash line part of this, in the inner tear duct area. Okay, so after we have that all applied, I'm going to go ahead and do my mascara, and I will be right back. So I went ahead and concealed my face and set it all because you guys have seen that a million times, and I also went ahead and bronzed and contoured my skin using the Anastasia Beverly Hills Contour Kit. So I'm going to go ahead and use the highlighter in that to highlight the rest of my face. Just doing tops of my cheeks, down the bridge of my nose, and then the tip of my nose, because we can't forget the tip of our nose. Now I'm going to go ahead and use my NYX blush in Paradise, and just looks like so. I'm just taking that on an e.l.f. stippling brush to where we don't get too much product on our skin. And I'm just blending this in to the apples of my cheeks. And back. I'm going to go ahead and line my lips in NYX lip liner in Natural. Shocker! It's usually what I line my lips with. Now, after completely lining my lips, I'm going to go ahead and use MAC's Brave lipstick. And this is your finished look.
I got that James Dean daydream look in my eye. You got that red lip classic thing that I like when we go crashing down. We come back every time, never go out of style, out of style.
Hey guys, so I hope you enjoyed that video. I had lots of fun creating this look, inspired by the beautiful colors in the Urban Decay Vice palette. So if you're interested, I'm going to go ahead and do a review. Starting off with this palette, the packaging is absolutely beautiful, and instead of having the normal clasp, it opens up like so. It has an absolutely huge mirror, like humongous mirror. It is filled with 20 beautiful shades, and lots of them are very colorful. Lots of them are very shimmery as well. This palette also comes with its own brush. It is just the double-ended brush. It's got a more precise blending brush and then a smaller applicating brush. I'm going to go ahead and talk about the type of shadows that are in this palette. So as you can see, this palette is full of tons and tons and tons of colors. Here, I'm going to go ahead and take this out because I can just see myself dropping that. When you see this palette, you just think, oh, it's totally awesome, it's colorful, I'll get it because they're all normal shadows. Well, that was what my mom thought when she got this palette, and she wanted this for Valentine's Day, so my dad went ahead and got this for her. And she tried it out, and she didn't like the shadows because she was having a hard time getting them to stay, and they weren't showing up as pigmented as she wanted them to. But the thing is with this palette is not all normal shades. So you should know this when going in to buy this. A lot of these shades are pressed pigments in here. Like these top two up here, these are both pressed pigments, and they do not have the same color that are in the pan. They're more of a sparkle that has that color in with it. And also the gold color down here, and those are all the ones that I can tell are pressed pigments. This one is kind of a pressed pigment. It's not so much, it's got more of that texture, but it does show up this color. You just have to layer it on a smidge. There are some matte colors in here, not very many. It is mostly a shimmer palette, but it has a nice matte flesh tone color, a nice matte transition color, a nice dark charcoal. It's not exactly black, but it's not exactly gray. It's just in between. And then there's also a nice matte dark brown up here. Most of these colors are shimmery, but it does come with a couple matte shades, which is nice. So my overall review on this would say, if you are a beginner starting out with makeup, don't have a lot of brushes, not sure how to apply pigments, I would not suggest getting this palette in particular because of the pressed pigments that are in this. The problem that my mom was having with this is because of the pressed pigments, she's not experienced with those, so she wasn't sure how to apply them, and she was looking for something that would make her life easier with makeup and applying it a lot faster. But the thing is with pressed pigments, you typically have to wet your brush, and you have to have a flat synthetic brush to pack these onto your lid if you want to get the most color payout from them. So with this palette, I personally love it. I can create several different looks with it, but that is because I'm experienced with the pressed pigments, and I have dealt with pigments, and I kind of know what I was getting into. And I have not tried every single one of these, but the ones that I have tried, I have liked. The two pressed pigments, these two down here, I was kind of bummed that they didn't have more of a color payoff, but they do add a sparkle to it, and that's what brought a lot of the sparkle to this look in particular. So I do like this palette, but I would not suggest it to a beginner. It would be something fun to add to your makeup collection for the variety of colors and the different types of textures there are. If you're somebody who likes makeup and is experienced with makeup, this is a great palette. It just depends on what you're looking for in a palette, but I personally love this palette. So that is the end of this video, guys. Sorry it's a little long, but thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. And if you have not already, click that subscribe button down there if you'd like to see new videos every weekend, because it's free and you should do it. So you can go ahead and pause my face and do that if you want. I'll wait. So I will see you all in my next video next week. Love you guys. Bye.
Got my attention, baby, gon' do what you do. Eviction notice, now you gon' have to make a move. All this ice in my rolling, no